Hey guys, don't forget that tomorrow is Saturday and it is my every Saturday YouTube live stream, and the time is 3 p.m. West African time. Guys, we have a whole lot to discuss tomorrow. We have a whole lot. I'm going to be talking about BBNaija, still the reunion, and some of the things that happened in this week's episode. Remember last week Saturday, guys, we talked about the things that happened in that week's Saturday. The previous week again, we also talked about how to survive in Lagos. You don't want to miss this. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. So guys, yesterday's episode on the BBNaija Pepper Dem Gang reunion, it got, like, permit me to say, the whole world in their feelings. Okay, not the whole world anyways, but when you're on Twitter and basically on social media, you just assume like it's the whole world, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it got a lot of people in their feelings. People were really upset, especially with yesterday's episode. You know, the way she re-insulted Tacha over and over again, called her a prostitute, called her other names, called her an animal, called her shit, you know. Still on the reunion show, and EBUKA kept quiet without addressing especially the Puta part, you know. So after much deliberations, because it might sound funny, but I had to think about it, that okay, why is Tacha so poised? Why is she so quiet? Why is she taking all the heat, and why is she not reacting, you know? So after much deliberations, you know, I had a conversation with someone else about it, you know. I came to the realization that there might possibly be a number of factors that's behind Tacha's calmness, a quietness, and a non-reaction to the heat she's getting from EBUKA and the rest of the housemates. So guys, whatever I say on this video, these are my own theories. Everybody has their own theories about what's going on, so I'm just going to share mine in this video. So if you want to find out about them, watch till the end of this video. And as usual guys, feel free to comment, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you have your own theories that are quite different from mine, go ahead and share them with me in the comment section below. Without much further ado, I feel like a chicken whenever I do that. Without much further ado, let's get into the video. Now guys, since the beginning of the reunion, I've noticed that, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that has actually noticed this anyways, I've noticed that when questions are asked, you know, pertaining to Tacha, whenever she wants to say something, they cut her off, they shut her up. I also have observed that whenever she is asked a question, you know, about an issue that she had with another housemate in the house, they tend to give the other housemates more airtime to express themselves, to talk, to pour out their feelings, you know, purgation of emotion. They get into their feelings, they talk, they play the pity party, they play the victim and all of that, you know. They are giving a lot of airtime. And then when Tacha is asked to speak, she of course, this is how Tacha talks, you know, she goes straight to the point, she hits the nail on the head, you know. But then I feel like when she's talking, it's so obvious that there's a lot of editing that has been done. It's like they keep on cutting her, you know, of the many things that she would have explained, you know. That's one factor. And then the other part is she tends to not give a lot of reaction, you know, because I am sure that a lot of people have been anticipating the reunion, that oh my god, when the reunion comes, it's going to be hot, people are going to do this, heads are going to roll, Tacha is going to be this, Tacha is going to be that. So I am sure that people are actually expecting Tacha to come onto the reunion and behave the same way that she actually behaved in the house, you know. But then she's actually clearing a lot of people's doubts, you know. She's filling a lot of people's expectations by not doing what people have been expecting her to do. And a lot of people are upset about it, and a lot of people are actually happy about it. Now, in the house, in case you did not watch the show, Tacha was very hot. When they say Pepper Dem Gang, Tacha was the pepper, like she was hot. Like at some point, I could understand her perspective. I could understand the reasons behind her reacting to any situation that Tacha is quarreling with somebody. Sometimes I could understand, but because of the sort of person I am, I would rather calmly talk. When I am upset, that is when I am very calm. If you see me extremely calm, then just know that I am upset about something. So people are different in that way. There are some people that when they are very upset, this house will come down, they will burn it down, and then they will now come to self-realization that, oh my god, I've done something really, really bad. There are some other people like me who, when we are extremely upset, we are the most quiet, we are very, very calm. And there's some people that when they are very upset, they cry. There's some people that when they are very upset, they hit somebody. So people are very, very different in that way, and people have different methods and different ways of channeling or releasing pent-up emotions and their aggressions. Now, while Tacha was in the house, I understood that Tacha, when she's upset about something, instead of her to keep it in her mind and allow it fester like some of the housemates, which I wouldn't mention their names, yeah, because the video is not about them, yeah. So instead of her to keep it in her heart and allow the issue to fester, and then she starts dealing with those people according to the offenses that she has built up in her heart against them, she would rather shout about it and express her emotions, express herself, and then the next day or the next moment she moves on with those people without even thinking about the issue that they've had already, you know. And initially I could not really understand the motive behind her shouting, but later I realized that, wow, okay, so there's a lot of problems here now. Yes, of course, I've said it in previous videos that, you know, Tacha played a psychological game on the housemates from the very first introduction on the opening stage, where she said, look at me, look at them, you know. She invested in their emotions. She that very day, Tacha bought an apartment in all the housemates' mind, in their head, in their feelings, in their emotions. She bought an apartment and she started living rent-free in all the housemates' head. And I'm sorry to say this, so, but I think she also succeeded in doing that in EBUKA's head. No beef, no shades thrown at EBUKA, but I feel like she absolutely did that, because as time went on, you know, during all those Sunday eviction shows when EBUKA would ask questions and all of that, you know, I could actually see that sometimes EBUKA got in his feelings. No offense, but that was what it is. Viewers could actually see that for a fact, you know. And then, you know, Tacha getting upset, I would get really angry, like, okay babe, calm down. But at some point I had to just tell myself that, okay, there are so many reasons why this girl gets really upset in the house. Number one, Biggie has certain rules in the house. When people upset you, you can only yell, you can only scream, you can only exchange words, but you cannot use certain words, and you cannot hit anybody. So the frustration, you know, that's not just for Tacha now, but for the rest of the housemates, the frustration that people upset you and you cannot hit them, you cannot push them, you cannot shove them, you cannot do anything to them. And the worst is that you guys are stuck in one space, and you guys are stuck in the same group. You guys are stuck doing the same house chores. You guys are stuck doing the same games, arena games, the same house task. You know, you guys are stuck doing the same thing. So when somebody upsets you, you have that person's face to contend with every morning. If somebody upsets me, I have a choice of walking away and walking out. I don't want to see your face. I beg, let me just go away from you before I harm you, you know, or I'll cut you or something like that, you know. Let me just walk away and then regain my sanity and then come back, you know. But then the housemate's case in the house was so crazy, you know, because of course we know that BBNaija is a social experiment, you know. It's like a test to see how people react in different situations, how people can cohabitate with different people in a house in one space. So it was a lot of pressure, you know. Now Tacha brought it upon herself, but then again we can assume that, okay, she was actually playing her game and it worked for her. You know, it led her through to almost the last week or last 2 weeks of the finals, you know. But then that is that, okay. And at some point, guys, I'm not going to lie, I got fed up with Tacha shouting and screaming. But also now there's another perspective to it. Tacha shouting and all of that, you know, because whenever there's a quarrel, her voice is almost the loudest when she shouts, you know. It tended to take away the viewer's attention from the fact that most of the things that happened in the house is not Tacha's problem. It took away the viewer's attention from the fact that Tacha wasn't actually the main problem. It's distracted. It was a huge distraction, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it completely distracted viewers from the fact that the rest of the housemates all had their own peculiarities. Just as Tacha was weirdly wired or weirdly different, all the housemates, each and every one of them individually, they are also wired differently. I will give you I'll just explain the one after the other briefly. There's Esther, who when she gets angry, she also yells too, and most of the time in the house, she carries the anger in her heart. She allows it fester until she left the house. When she's upset with somebody, like, she doesn't forget it easily, you know. There is who is that there's Shay also, that when he gets upset, or maybe the guy don't mark you, say, you, I'm upset with you, I won't easily forgive you, he carries it in his mind. And that was what happened between him and Kathy, him and Tacha, even Ella. Although there are times he will try to redeem himself by saying that, oh, Ella has a good voice though, but I don't like that girl, I don't like that. You know, there was Shay. There was also Mike, whom everybody felt was the most perfect housemate. And let me not lie, I give Mike the credit too. He had a lot of self-control, but at some point in time in the house, Mike lost his self-control. He lost his self-control when he started picking up unnecessary fights with Shay, getting into Shay's head. Yeah, everybody said it was a game. It's a game. It's the game. It's allowed. Fine. But then I just want you guys to understand that these people that you think were perfect in the house, they actually did things too. Mike was deliberately provoking people in the house. He deliberately provoked Tacha several times, deliberately provoked Shay a lot, deliberately provoked Fraud. In fact, Fraud and Tacha were the two people in the house that these other guys and housemates in the house generally kept on provoking non-stop. But then, because when there is a problem and Tacha's voice was the loudest, everybody's eyes just go to Tacha. You know, Tacha is the problem, Tacha is the problem. Yeah. Now, there was also Mercy, that when she's upset, she breaks things, she uses swear words, she uses curse words, and then she takes alcohol, and then she uses the alcohol as a shield to say, oh, I was drunk when I said this. She also did the same thing. Oh, I was drunk when I said this, you know. So these were things that these housemates were doing, and people were sort of distracted by the shouting girl away from the actual people that were actually provoking, the actual people that were all actually instigating issues in the house. Fraud too played a lot of mind games, let me not lie. And in as much as I was thinking that, oh, Esther used Fraud, Fraud was actually using Esther to play his game. There was also Venita that came into the house, hey, I'm the loud one, you know. And she did a lot of things from the moment she came into that. Yeah, we all said it was a game, I agree. But then what gives you the right to say that, oh, it's a game? And then when it's the reunion show, you people are actually justifying what she did. That was also Joe that came into the house with the target, with Tacha as his target. That, oh, this girl, I've seen you outside the house, I've watched you, I'm going to make sure you get disqualified. And then Joe came into the house with the utmost intention to deliberately provoke Tacha. And he did it, and I think that resulted in her getting another strike or thereabout. And then there was Cindy that came into the house. I don't know if she came for the food or if she came for the game, and she came into the house and she did all she could to instigate. And when people were getting when she was getting a lot of fans, people were pitying her about the makeup saga, you know, about the fact the Ludo saga. At the end of the day, we discovered that it was all a ploy. It was all a strategy for Cindy to get the viewers' emotions all messed up. And at the end of the day, we realized that Enke was actually not the bad person. It was actually Cindy that was actually the bad person, in quotes, right? So I can go on and on pointing out different, you know, negative sides, if we call it that way. To me, it was all a game, right? But then put it in quotes that I can go on pointing out different negative sides to all the housemates in the house. But at the end of the day, it's quite understandable, you know, that for us in this part of the world, when people are shouting and yelling like that, we tend to ignore the underlying factors. We tend to ignore the reason behind their screaming and yellings and all of that, and just point finger that this person is mad. And that was what they did to Tacha. That was what happened to Tacha in the house. Now guys, I'll give you guys the reasons why I feel that Tacha is being very quiet and comported and composed. Number one, Tacha has grown. Guys, her level of growth is so freaking unbelievable. Guys, people will say that, oh, on the show she pretends to be grown, and then on social media she's a keypad warrior. I'm going to tell you what Tacha is doing. Now, this is a fact. On the show, Tacha brought like most of the hotness, most of the drama on the show. I'm not saying the other housemates didn't have a role to play, but then she did, you know. And even the way she was disqualified, some people, there's the argument that, oh, she was the Biggie was biased on doing that, this person was biased and all of that. For me, I felt like it was not a fair disqualification anyways, in my own opinion, you know. But then she outside the house now has come to the realization and understanding that, okay, while I was on the show, I did all I could to, you know, contribute to the entertainment of the show one way or the other, you know. And let's not forget, it wasn't just about the fightings that Tacha had in the house. Creatively, she actually brought on an A game. The cooking, the fashion designs, the drama, the leadership and all of that, right? She actually brought in her A game, just as every other housemate actually brought in their A game, you know. So I feel like she has come to understand that, okay, this reunion show, they're actually setting it up because of me. They want to get in my feelings, they want to get on my nerves, they want to test me and see if for real I have actually changed. So I'm not going to give them the satisfaction to say that, oh yes, I said it, Tacha has not changed. So this is what I feel Tacha is doing. She comes onto the show and then she completely ignores. I feel like she built a barrier between her feelings and all the negativity that she perceived or predicted was going to be coming from the rest of the housemates. Yes, guys, that's what I just think. Okay, now as I said from the beginning of this video, this is my own theory. You might have your own theory. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. Now, that's number one. And also still on that first point, you know, I perceive that she has come to understand that all the housemates, they're going to gang up against her, they're going to say whatever they want to say, they're going to do whatever they want to do, they're going to trigger her, they're going to provoke her so that she will react and overreact as the old Tacha that they knew in the house. But then she is taking a stance to maintaining a cool, a composure and a poise, and I must give her accolades for that. It's not easy to sit in front of people that actually you had issues with in the house, and then in front of you on international TV they are still saying the same crap over and over again, and EBUKA is not saying anything. In fact, I feel like EBUKA is actually enjoying the jolly ride, you know, because it's like, oh, it's payback time to Tacha. So everybody, you know, they ganged up and they're saying whatever they want to say. So I must give her a lot of accolades for that. It's not easy to be that calm in the face of adversities, in quotes. And also, guys, we need to also remember that when Tacha was disqualified, she said it by herself, you know, when she came out, that she was very much depressed. You know, she was depressed, especially after she saw the polls, because DSTV, multi-choice, they were really ganged up against this girl. Like, they really wanted it to get into her head. So when she came out of the house, they released the last polls, and guys, it was shocking to the world how Tacha was on 40-something%, long, while other housemates were at 18% and all of that, you know. So Tacha saw that and she was greatly depressed. That put her down completely. And as she used her mouth to say, you know, that her publicity team, they are the ones trying to rebrand her image. And also I remember earlier those times that she said that she was going to see a therapist. She was going to be working with a therapist, you know, on how to control her anger management, you know, control her emotions and all of that. And I must commend the therapist that Tacha worked with, or the people around her, because they've actually succeeded in working on her, you know, suppressing most of her feelings and all of that. And hey, yeah, people will say that Tacha is a keypad warrior. Well, it's allowed, but then one thing I've noticed is that she does not throw shades, except the shade are thrown at her constantly. And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, the shades has been coming from left, right and center constantly at Tacha. Yeah, I know that it's bound to happen because of episodes that have happened inside the house, but then even outside the house, she did not even start throwing shade at anybody. As a matter of fact, she sent a congratulatory message to all the housemates that reached the finals. But then no, these people still had grievances to bear in their heart against her, you know. So the shades had been coming in bouts, left, right and center, you know, up and down, and she had been taking them, you know. So it takes a whole lot for her to now come out and also react. That is it. The second reason why I feel like Tacha is being very calm and also maintaining her comportment, her composure and her poise on the reunion show is Tacha is working with a lot of big brands now. She's working with a lot of organizations, you know. There's a reputation, and there's also the reputation of the organization to be protected. Now imagine if, and she's still signing deals. That's the most amazing thing. Recently she won Nigeria's most popular BBNaija housemate of the year, right now. So imagine that she reacts and then she goes crazy, removes her wig, removes her shoes, and is fighting every other housemate on the reunion show that has had something to say about her. How do you think the brand will perceive her? the brand will automatically feel like this girl has not changed one bit, so we need to take away our endorsement, we need to cancel our endorsement. And remember, when you are a brand ambassador for a brand, your image needs to be protected at all costs, right? You need to stay clean off social media tribes and all of that, you know. And I feel like that is what she's trying to do. She's trying to protect herself from getting hurt, yeah, by whatever negativity is coming from the rest of the housemates, and also protecting a brand, all the brands that she's why did I now forget what I want to say? I think she's also protecting all the brands that she is representing. Gosh, why is that English so hard? Gosh, representing. She's trying to protect all the brands that she's representing. Wow. Anyways, guys, these are my theories. In conclusion, guys, I feel like Tacha is doing great. I feel like Tacha has really grown. It's really amazing. It's unbelievable to some people, but guys, if people can actually grow and move on from their past in 9 months, I believe that anybody can change. I believe that anybody can actually do good for themselves. Anyways, guys, this is my own frank opinion. If you think this makes sense, give this video a huge thumbs up. If you feel this video does not make sense, don't give it a thumbs down though. Just move on, I beg. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Drop your thoughts and your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.